Hey you guys, it's your girl Rachel L. Clark, and this is Life After Divorce with Rachel L. Clark. Before we even get started today, you guys, if you haven't done so already, go ahead and hit that subscribe button below. Go ahead and hit that bell notification. I want you to go ahead and get notified when I go ahead and post or decide to go live on my YouTube channel. You know what I'm saying? All right, so today I'm going to touch a little bit on depression. The reason I chose this topic here today is because so many people go through depression and they really don't know how to identify depression, right? A lot of us don't know how to identify it, or when we do identify it, we don't know what's the next steps. I realize a lot in the Black community, a lot of Black people don't like to go to therapy, and therapy really helps. I'm gonna tell you a little bit about my journey with depression. In 2018, I've mentioned this before in one of my videos. I fell into a really deep depression, right? Didn't know how to recognize it. I was at home with the lights out, blinds closed. Like when I tell you, I would go to work and I'm smiling and I'm happy and I'm laughing, and then I drive home and nothing on, turn my phone off, don't want to be bothered with people, didn't want to talk to nobody. I was crying and didn't really know what was happening to me, right? So I was speaking to a colleague of mine, at the time about it. Like something just told me to reach out to him. I probably had just met him probably like 2 months prior, or maybe 3 months prior to all of this happening. But he has such a genuine soul that I gravitated towards him, and he was just like, yo, I think you need to talk to somebody professional. And I was just like, nah, I'm good. And because I thought it was silly, I'm just going through a divorce. Why am I depressed? Like, then I started talking to a therapist, and, she helped me understand that when you are going through life changes like that, you are grieving, you're grieving the loss of what you thought it was, or the plans that you guys had made for the future, and it's just like you're letting all of that go. So you're almost trying to figure out who you are. Excuse me, I talk with my hands a lot. But you're trying to figure out who you are at that point. You're trying to figure out, what is life outside of this marriage? What is my life going to be? And for me, I felt like a failure because that was my second divorce. And I was just trying to hold on to that marriage because I didn't want to be a failure. I did not want to seem like I failed at life. I failed myself. I failed my parents, my family. And so it was really hard for me. Like, it really was a very difficult time because I'm always perceived that as the strong woman, strong, independent Black woman that always got her stuff together. They'll never need to ask anybody for anything. I've been in Georgia for 14 and a half years alone, no families out here. And for me, it was just like, where do I go now? What do I do next? So I got going to therapy, and I've had a couple of nervous breakdowns where I would sit down for 24 hours and cry and cry and cry. And I was just like, yo, I need to talk to somebody because I need to figure out how to put my feelings into perspective, how to really balance what I was feeling without feeling like such a failure, and it's okay for you to sit down and cry. It's okay for you to, write it down, want to just be alone. But one thing I want to say is don't stay there too long. I see a lot of people commit suicide after divorces. They can't handle it. It's people that's been together for 15, 20 years that's doing that because they don't have anyone to talk to. And when you feel like such a failure, like the rug has been pulled out from underneath you, is so very difficult to get out of that. But what I want to tell you is it's possible. It's possible. Life after divorce is amazing. Yes, you're gonna grieve, you're going to cry, you're going to hurt, you're gonna have all these mixed emotions. You see, the blessing was we didn't share any children together, but he had 3 children prior to us even getting together years ago. And so I instantly became stepmom, daughter-in-law, sister-in-law, cousin-in-law, and all of that was pulled from underneath me. And I didn't want to let go of that. And it was the happy family aspect of it. I didn't want to let go of it. but I had to realize I was painting a picture that didn't exist, right? Because obviously we was at the point of divorce for a reason. So that picture that I was trying to paint, it didn't exist. And I had to sit down in my thoughts. I started getting journals. I started writing it down, writing out how I felt on a daily basis. And it didn't end, there. I continued 2 years and I still go to therapy because there are times that I still feel down. I still feel like, damn, what could I have done differently that would have changed this outcome? What was it that I could have done? And you got to realize that you're only responsible for you. You're not responsible for nobody else's feelings. You're not responsible to make anybody else happy. You have to find your own happiness in self, right? You have to love on you, because if you don't love you 100%, how can you expect anybody else to love you? And for me, I realized that we were two broken people trying to be a family, and that wasn't working. But I can't be responsible for what he felt and what he was doing, because I know that I put my best foot forward. I did everything in my power, as a human being, to make that marriage work. With him, with my ex-wife, like, I did everything that I could do, and I could only be responsible for my actions, And I always tell people, I apologize if there's anything I did that make you feel like you had to go out and do X, Y, and Z. Don't apologize. Like, erase that apology, because that's something in them that they have to work out. Just worry about you. Go to therapy, get your health together, get your mental health together. Just focus on self-love. And what I do for self-love is, one thing my best friend told me was, girl, you better buy yourself some flowers. Stop expecting somebody else to do it. So I started getting myself flowers. I have candles that I burn on a daily basis. I do my meditations. I take time to myself every single morning. And that's how the weight loss journey really started for me. It was a means to cope with my thoughts, because of course your thoughts are going to be going like 1,000,000 miles per minute, right? And so for me to cope, I started walking every morning. And it just became a weight loss thing, because I started losing weight from it, but I didn't do it for that. I did it so that I can figure out how to get all of my thoughts all together and, kind of work out all of the feelings and anxiety I was having. So my walks went from 0.87 miles to 3 miles a day, just walking, listening to inspirational music. Sometimes I would put an audio book on and just kind of walk and just breathe. I would pace myself, relax, let all the thoughts out, come back home, write it down, meditate, just be in my moment, be in myself, become one with self. And I would write down the things that I didn't like. And it's so funny because my best friend just bought me a book, and you write down everything that you don't like about yourself or that you don't like that's going on with life. And you will say, fuck it. You'll scratch that shit out and write down the stuff that you do love. Focus on the things that you love about yourself. Meditate, pray to whoever you pray to help you with the guidance that you need. Seek professional help. I think that everybody at some point in time in their life needs to talk to a therapist, right? Things are happening. Look at 2020 has been one heck of a ride. We've had a lot of ups and downs. This pandemic has taken so many of our loved ones. It has really drastically took effect on a lot of people's finances. And so a lot of people find themselves more in a depression mode. A lot of children was going without. A lot of marriages was rocky because of it. Because let's face it, you don't spend 24 hours a day with one another, right? So I do believe at some point that everybody should talk to a therapist. Sorry, I saw something moving. But you should definitely talk to a therapist. I'm not licensed to tell you what to do. For me, it helped going to therapy and just having someone who don't know you, don't know anything about you, and you just putting everything out there. So really you're sharing what you want to share with the person. And they're not really there to give you direction, but it's to help put your feelings together, sort of, kind of, But depression is so very heavy. It's so very deadly. So many people are ending their lives from depression. So many people hit depression and don't know how to get back up. Recognize the signs. If you feel like something is wrong, reach out to somebody. Reach out to somebody that you trust. Reach out to somebody that You know, if you tell them something, they're not going to run back and go tell the whole world. And if you don't have anybody like that in your corner, I have posted below some resources that you guys can talk to somebody for free. Suicide line hotline number is down below the description box. I have all the links down below. You know, reach out to somebody and just talk to somebody, and just know that you are not alone. You know, you are not alone. You are not alone. There are so many people going through the same things, and so many people are so afraid to say what it is they feel. You know, so many people don't want to be looked at. For me, I didn't want to be looked at as weak, you know, because like I stated, I've been out in Georgia for 14 years by myself. My family has never had to worry about me. You know what I mean? Like, they know that whatever it is, Rachel got it. She's going to be okay. The downfall to that is that when you really need somebody, you know, they think that you lying. You know what I mean? Because like, nah, you're good. You're strong. You're always good. So find somebody that you can talk to. Get some professional help if you need to. As I stated before, in the description box below, there will be some free links for you guys to reach out to people if you're just having a hard time coping. You know, especially during this time, election is over. Whoever you voted for, that is your business, you know. But before we even got to this point, there was so many things happening that a lot of people didn't know how to cope with. So it just because it seems minute to you doesn't necessarily mean it is. Like, no matter how small you think it is, let me tell you something. Something small could turn into something so big, so very quickly, right? We could drown ourselves in our thoughts for something very, very small. It could be a piece of hair, like my locks as it keep falling in front of my face, you know? I'm like, oh my goodness, why is nothing right? My hair don't never want to stay right. It could be something so small that turns into something huge, and that's not a good thing, right? Seek professional help. No matter what it is, no matter what you think it is, talk to somebody. Talk to somebody. Reach out to somebody, because whether you feel like you have no place on this earth, you are here for a purpose. God did not spare your life for no reason, right? You are here for a reason. Reach out to someone. If you need to reach out, talk to me, reach out to me, leave a comment below, send me an inbox, whatever you have to do. Just talk to somebody, and I promise it's like, it'll make sense. I can't promise that it will be okay. But one thing I heard from our friend is, you're still here, right? So it's not the end. It's not the end. It's not the end. Before you decide to end your life or take those pills or get super drunk to try to drown out your feelings, reach out to somebody and talk to somebody. You know, there are people here that love you on this earth, and they want to see you at your very best, whether it's a friend, whether it's family, a pastor, you know, a little kid, a cousin. Someone on this earth sees you as such a bright light. So reach out, get the help that you need, talk to somebody, write it down, get a journal. And whenever you feel sad, just jot it down on the journal what you're feeling. Why are you feeling like that? What made you feel that way? It's not hard, because as much as the thoughts are running in your mind, I promise it will come out fast on paper also, because it's running through your mind. So just write it down, rip it up, burn it, whatever you need to do. You know, like, just find your niche place and your medium, and take care of you. Self-love on you. Love on you wholly. Don't expect for your spouse, whether, you know, you're a guy watching this or you're a female watching this, because this channel is not just for women, you know. I created this for women and men because men go through this also. So reach out to somebody. Someone loves you. Someone loves you. If no one told you today you're beautiful, you are loved, you are worthy, you know, I'm giving you hugs through the screen. If you need someone to talk to, please drop a comment, send me an inbox, whatever. Just talk to somebody. Talk to somebody. Depression is real. Depression is deadly, but it doesn't have to end. All right. Until next time, this is your girl Rachel L. Clark with Life After Divorce. Life after divorce is not bad. I can't promise that it is going to be all right all the time. But one thing I can say from my experience, it has been a blessing to go through the things I went through, to hit those hard points and sitting to myself like, oh my goodness, how am I going to make it out of this? You know, but to have love from one friend is enough. You know, for one friend to say, I need you to survive is enough. You know, it was enough for me to say, hey, Rachel, you need to get some professional help, right? So talk to somebody. See you guys next time on our video. It's not gonna always be ruffling feathers, you guys. I do want to talk about serious topics, you know, to help you through your healing process, to help you through your journey, and find new ways for us to heal together. You know, like, I'm healing with you. I'm 2 years out of a divorce, but that does not mean that the healing process stops. Right? You got to keep on going, because you got to find self. You got to keep on loving on self. You got to keep on growing with self. So this journey doesn't end for me just because I'm 2 years out of a divorce, a year and a half. But we're healing together. So talk to me. Let's interact with one another, and let's help each other heal and grow. Okay? Until next time, it's your girl Rachel L. Clark with Life After Divorce. If you like what you heard, go ahead and hit the like and share button below. Please do not forget to subscribe to my channel. This is going to be an amazing journey. Let's keep on growing together, you guys. Toodles.